You are now listening to Vibe Selection with Kyra, where you can get the real on today's hot topics.
Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Vibe Selection. I am your host, Kyra, and on today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about dating during the pandemic. Yes, I know this has been a challenging time for everybody. I know especially for us single gals out there that are, looking for a better half, but how exactly do you find your better half when you're not able to go out and experience new things or meet new people out in public or any of that? Well, wonderful question. I will say that, at least for myself, I've definitely tried the whole online dating. I know the online dating thing has a lot of stigmas, and for the most part, you usually only get people that are just looking to, get into extracurricular activities, if you know what I mean, when it comes to online dating. There's not a lot of people that are out there trying to be serious. There's a lot of people that say they are serious, but in fact, they're just looking to get some. So what are some of the ways that you can connect with people? Well, you can do the traditional way, which is, finding someone through mutual friends. If you have a friend that, knows someone that's single and has certain qualities that they feel would complement you as a person, you guys would make a good match, then I would say go through, your mutual friends and see what guy or girl is out there that is single, that you can be compatible with. The next thing would be, of course, like I mentioned, online dating. And like we all know that online dating has its stigmas, but it really is kind of the only outlet right now, since you can't go out and meet people organically like you used to could. So, with sites such as Tinder, unfortunately, I wouldn't totally recommend Tinder, only because there's a lot more people that are looking to go on there just to hook up. People most of the time aren't going on Tinder to actually find a genuine connection with someone. So the next option would be, you can go on eHarmony, you can go on Black People Meet if you're trying to stick to, your own kind, or, there's other sites like Plenty of Fish that you can go on. There's plenty of sites out there that fits whatever need that you kind of are looking for. But like I said, at the end of the day, you kind of got to weigh out the pros and cons and kind of see what's out there when it comes to these online dating sites. In my personal experiences, for the most part, online dating has been very challenging for me, even though I found a few people out of the big array of sea of people that are on online dating that, fit certain qualities I like. For the most part, I will say that, online dating is just a challenge overall, but it's worth a shot. Since you're not able to really go out and meet people organically, that would be the ultimate way to go right now. So just see, what's out there, put a cute little profile up there, get your cute little picture, a nice little bio going on. But when it comes to these online dating sites, one thing that everybody has to remember is that people, what they see at first glance is how they're going to approach the situation ultimately. So, for example, if you have a picture up there where you're half naked or you're showing a bunch of cleavage, or I've even seen guys on these sites that, are showing their package. Like, I mean, come on, really now? If you see a profile like that, no one is looking to get into anything serious, and you should just, swipe left or swipe right. Swipe right would probably be my take on it, but do you? If you're just looking for a little hookup, then that's fine too. Those type of people would be for you. But if you're looking to seriously date, I would say when at first glance, the first impression is everything. So if you see a guy that's up there, he's looking presentable, it's just him in the picture. I don't know why people put pictures up there where it's them and a couple of other people. Like, I'm not trying to homie hop. I'm just trying to, see what's good with this one person. So, nice profile picture, nice bio, talks a little bit about them, what their interests are, what they're really looking to get into. If someone puts up there that they're just looking for some casual fun, okay, well then right away, then it's obviously just a booty call. You want to if you're really seriously interested in dating online, look for someone that says they're looking to get to know someone, looking to be friends, and then see what it's going to be from there. See how the situation leads on. Because the most important thing is when you're dating is to get to know the person. I know that during this whole pandemic, I've known people that have been in relationships for years, or even that have been married for years, that are either breaking up or divorcing. And the number one, reason behind it is people are saying that they don't really even know the person that they're getting in a relationship with, which I think is very interesting, because a lot of the times, like a lot of these people that I know have been in relationships for years. So it's like, how is it that you don't really know the person that you've been in a relationship with for years, even though you're spending day in and day out with them? And that has a lot to do with the fact that people aren't taking their time to date and get to know people. People are dating for maybe a few weeks, maybe a month or two, and then just jumping into the relationship. And the number one thing you have to realize is that if you are going to create if you're going to get into a relationship with someone, then you have to create a foundation. And that foundation is taking the necessary steps to get to know the person. What is your favorite color? What is it that you like to do? What's your family history like? Who are you as a person? What is your likes and dislikes? Just like anything where you can feel like you can get to better know the person so that it can be more of a genuine connection where you guys are on the same page. And a lot of people that I know say, when I've asked them, when's the last time you've dated, or how do you date, or what do you do when you are dating? A lot of people tell me that they don't date. They're like, what is dating? And to me, that is kind of absurd, because it's like, how do you not know how to date? How do you not date before you get in a relationship, first and foremost? To me, that's most concerning. And that has a lot to do with why people are breaking up, because they're not taking that time to get to know the person that they're in a relationship with, because they just are so head up to be in a relationship with the person or get married to them. And so another thing is, what happens after you connect with the person? What happens after you find someone that, you connect with on any of these dating sites or through mutual friend? Well, the best way to connect with them without, being within their presence due to the whole pandemic situation is, having like a Zoom dinner date or something like that, maybe on FaceTime, calling the person, getting on that little Zoom, you got your little meal, you got your little wine, whatever, you guys just talk and pretty much get to know each other. I know it sounds super cheesy and I know it sounds weird, but, during this particular time when we're trying to all social distance with each other, that doesn't stop the fact that us single men or women out there are just, trying to get to know someone. A lot of people are out here booing up with their exes. A lot of people have boyfriends or husbands or wives or whatever the case is. They have a significant other. So that leaves us single people out on the side of the road. Like and that's the best way that I feel like when you're moving forward with the person, you decide, okay, I connect with this person. I want to get to know them a little bit more. Even though we can't be in each other's presence, the next best thing to do is have like a Zoom or FaceTime call. And have a little dinner date doing that. And then just asking the questions of like, what are you looking for in a partner? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Where are you looking to go in a relationship? Are you looking for something serious? Or are you just looking for a little play toy? And you know what? This is another thing that's come up in my mind, and a lot of things that have come up over the years, especially when I've talked to other people, is that there's so many people, especially now, that like to have, premarital sex or, sex before they get in a relationship with someone. They just like to hook up with them. And a lot of the excuses is that, I have to know what it's like before I actually decide to commit to the person. Okay, do you? If that's something that you feel like you're okay with doing, so be it. My thing is that from my experiences, it's better to not get into sex with the person before you're at least in a relationship with them. I personally feel like it's a distraction because, like someone else told me, if you're already hooking up with the person before you're actually even in a relationship, and that doesn't mean marriage, that just means boyfriend-girlfriend situation, and you're cooking, you're cleaning, you already met their friends, you've already been, around their family, you've met the mom, you met the dad, you met the cousins, you met the dog. If you're already doing all of these things that involves a relationship, why do a lot of times people feel like they don't have to commit to you? Okay, we're already doing everything that we're doing, and why do I need to commit? And then they make a lot of times they also make the excuses that, okay, since we're dating, let me go off and date other people because I have to also see what else is out there, right? So then it's like we're doing everything that involves a relationship without the strings attached to it. But then you're also going off and doing God knows what with however many other girls or guys that you're doing it with. And then you're a little confused because now you're getting caught up in having feelings for other people. And so, my biggest thing is just get to know the person organically. Try not to, if you can, have sex with that person before you're in a relationship. This doesn't mean while you're boyfriend and girlfriend. It just means before you're in a relationship with that person. Just take that time to get to know the person. If the guy starts talking about sex with you, then you already know what it is right off the bat. I know I've been in a lot of experiences with people where the guy oftentimes is talking about sex right in the first conversation. Well, if someone is starting off the first 30 minutes or the first hour of the conversation leading into sex, then right away what their motive is. They're not really looking for a genuine connection. A lot of times they're just, telling you they're looking for someone to get to know when really they just want a casual hookup. So that's something to keep in mind. Really, I encourage people to just get to know the person who you're talking to organically, because at the end of the day, you may realize after the first couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks that you're not feeling the person. At least you didn't have to give up the goods for anything, and you can just keep it pushing. And then, if there's no connection with the person, let's say you've been dating this person, for a couple of weeks. You guys been doing the whole Zoom thing, the FaceTime thing. You've been texting, you've been talking on a regular basis since you have all this time, and you're not really feeling like you connect with that person. Well, that's okay. That's part of the whole dating process, is that you're weighing out the pros and the cons. And even if the situation doesn't work with that person that, you're dating, there's room for you to at least know what it is that you don't want. So when you go into dating someone else or you get into a relationship, you already kind of know what you want. It's all about weighing out the pros and the cons when it comes to dating. Dating is just strictly about setting a foundation for what you ultimately want in a relationship with someone. And some people are lucky enough to find their Prince Charming or their princesses or their queens or their kings right after the first date. I've heard a lot of stories about people finding their significant other within the first time of meeting them, or maybe they've had 2-3 conversations, 2 or 3 dates with each other, and then they've decided, oh yeah, this is definitely someone that I want to move forward with and spend the rest of my life with, and they've been married and have lived happily ever after. But for a lot of people, that's not the situation. For a lot of people, you have to date around a lot. And I also encourage those people that are in relationships with people where they're unhappy. I know there's also a lot of people that are in relationships, especially during the pandemic, that are just settling and they're unhappy in their relationships, and they've been unhappy for years. But there's a lot of people that don't want to get the courage that they need in order to move forward. And I encourage people to, don't settle. If you're unhappy with the situation and you're just settling with that person because you don't want to go out there and find someone else that you're compatible with, because you already know the person that you're with's habits, and it's just easy to be with them because you know the ins and outs. I'm sorry, you're settling for less. And I encourage everybody who's settling for less to settle for more, because because we're all worth more. We're all worthy of having someone that we're ultimately going to feel compatible with, that, you know, we like, we love, we care about, you know, that we can do fun things with, go on trips, you know, go out to clubs, you know, whatever it is that you desire as far as relationship, we can all achieve that. So don't ever settle for less or stay complacent in a situation where you know that you're completely unhappy and you're just using the excuse that, oh, there's just easy to be with that person. Well, if you're taking that crap from the person that you're with in a relationship already, what's different between finding someone else who, you know, you could be more compatible with? Never settle for less. Always settle for more. Never stay complacent in a situation because you think that it's more easier for you to deal with because you know that person's habits. You could be missing out on so many opportunities, and you are missing out on so many opportunities of finding someone that you feel more compatible with, someone that you can actually love, trust, and care about, not having to worry about them cheating or not having to be fighting with someone all the time. You know, finding someone where you feel like you're comfortable in a relationship with that person and that they make you feel whole. They're your better half. You know, I think that we all need to keep that in mind when it comes to dating, that you want to date someone that's ultimately going to be your better half, not someone that's going to make you who you are, but that complements you. And I want everybody to keep that in mind when it comes to dating. With that said, I want to thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Vibe Selection. Once again, I am your host, Kyra. Tune in for next week's episode. And if you like any Vibe Selection merchandise, you can grab it at www.teespring.com/vibeselection. You can also like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Join me again next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you for joining Vibe Selection with Kyra. Come vibe out with us again next time and hear the latest on today's hot topics. Find us on Instagram at I am Kyra Mahoney or donate at www.patreon.com/vibeselection.